Breaking. YouTube no longer has a COVID-19 policy. So YouTube had a policy that they censored what we were allowed to say about COVID. Very, very harshly. Even if you said accurate things, they would still censor you and give you a community strike because they didn't like the way you said the thing that was accurate.
Context, Jimmy. You left out context.
Yes. Like if I said that the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine, didn't stop transmission of the virus, which it does not. And we figured out at this show here before anybody else that it does not stop transmission. They gave me they pulled that video down.
Wait, so now you can say it?
Because, well, wait. Oh. They took that video down because they said I didn't add context. And I'm like, well, what is that context? They go, you have to say it slows the spread. So if I just said a fact, like the vaccine doesn't stop the spread, which it doesn't, it never did. They didn't even test to see if it stopped the transmission. I can't say that without also telling you, according to YouTube, I have to also tell you that the vaccine does slow the spread. I don't know where they get that from, but they got it. And they make me say it. So that's why we've been saying that for the last, I don't know, year and a half or 2 years or whatever.
We've had some fun with it.
Ever since we figured out that they were lying, because it wasn't a mistake, they were lying that the vaccine stopped the transmission because they knew that they never even tested to see if it stopped transmission when Dr. Fauci and the president and everybody else and Rachel Maddow was telling you that it did. And now the new lie is they never said that it stopped transmission. That's the new lie. They did say that. So now they have this new thing. So now they've expanded. They didn't get rid of their censorship. They've expanded it.
Oh.
So they're going to ban any medical misinformation that contradicts the WHO. Now let's remember who the WHO is. The World Health Organization has already admitted that they have to do what their donors say they do. Right. So they have to go around the world with their hat in hand. That's verbatim what the head of the WHO said. We have to go around with our hat in hand asking for donations. And then the people who give us donations are going to have influence over us. We have to do what they say. So the WHO is funded by Bill Gates. The number one funder to the WHO is Bill Gates through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Gavi, which is another vaccine organization that he founded. So it goes China and Bill Gates are the two biggest funders to the WHO. China, the people who did the lockdowns, the most draconian, unbelievable, anti-liberty lockdowns that did nothing, by the way. Everybody in China ended up getting COVID anyway.
Well, it did reinforce, curbing your heart's desire for freedom. Reinforce that. It did reinforce that.
So now you can't say anything that contradicts the WHO. Now, there's lots of things the WHO said about COVID that were wrong. They said a lot of things about COVID that were wrong. But if I corrected them, YouTube would then censor me and take my video down and give me a community strike for being right. Even if I was right, if it goes against the WHO, so there's no debate. So what YouTube and Google are doing is making sure you can have a scientific debate. I can't bring on a scientist on my show that's going to debunk or contradict anything the WHO says or Fauci, because it also says local health authorities like the CDC, like that liar Walensky. They're pathological liars who run these organizations. We all know they're corporate captured by Big Pharma. But now YouTube and Google wants to make sure you cannot have scientific debate on YouTube at all. The biggest platform for something like this, you can't have it. Why? Because YouTube and Google are in bed with Big Pharma and the CIA and the WHO and the one world frickin' government. That's why big YouTube and Google wants the WHO to be able to shut down your bank account if you say that's who they are. They are the establishment. That's why they're doing the censoring.
Public-private partnership.
So, and this is all regarding substances and prevention, treatment, or denial of health conditions. And who gets to decide? Bill Gates. So Bill Gates is deciding what I can say on YouTube or Google. Bill Gates is doing that. And we all know Bill Gates is a megalomaniac, lying criminal who invested $55 million into the Pfizer vaccine right before the pandemic. He's got great timing, like Nancy Pelosi timing on stock buying. And then he made $500 million off it. And as soon as he cashed in that stock, he started telling you how bad the COVID-19 vax was and how it didn't work and how it didn't stop contraction or transmission and how it's not long lasting. And that we need a new thing that you inhale through your nose that actually does block infection. And it turns out Bill Gates is the #1 investor in that new thing. And so this is the guy who I now can't contradict. That's according to YouTube and Google. I can't contradict Bill Gates. They say the WHO, but what they really mean is Bill Gates. So whatever and I'm critical of Bill Gates, and then Bill Gates funds fake fact check organizations, and they give me bogus fact checks on Facebook. So Facebook has demonetized me, and everybody who goes on Facebook, all my old friends, think I'm some kind of conspiracy theorist because Facebook says so, and they're too lazy, ignorant, and stupid to look into anything I'm saying.
There isn't a bow tie in the world big enough you could wear for your context out.
That's right.
Gates is.
So that was their old policy. Here's their new policy. YouTube doesn't allow content that poses a serious risk of egregious harm by spreading medical misinformation. Well, wouldn't medical misinformation be that the vaccine stops transmission and that's why we should have mandates? Isn't that medical misinformation? But you didn't censor anybody saying that, and you still don't. All those videos are still up. So YouTube only censors one way. If you say anything that is going to affect the bottom line of sponsors, Big Pharma, or Bill Gates, they will censor you. If you tell a truth that undermines them, you will be censored. They're not censoring misinformation. Again, you don't get in trouble for lying because all the people who lied and said the vaccine stopped transmission and would end the pandemic, none of those people got censored. None of those people got fined. None of those people got their channels taken down. None of those people even got ridiculed in the press. Nothing. And none of those people have apologized. But if you told, I told the truth about it, Kurt, and they still think they're right.
Yeah, of course they're not going to apologize. They were right.
But I still have a strike on my YouTube channel because I was correct. But they said I didn't provide enough context. But the people who were just 100% wrong and provided no context, none of those people got censored. The people who said the vaccine did stop transmission, they were 100% wrong. They didn't provide any other context, but none of those people got censored. Isn't that interesting? So basically, this is it. What this policy means for you: don't post content on YouTube if it includes any of the following: prevention misinformation. So what they're saying is we don't allow you to debate science on YouTube. Because if you say anything that goes against what Bill Gates wants you to say, you're going to be censored. And it's got nothing to do with if you're right, because Brett Weinstein was right about everything he said about COVID and the vaccines, and they still demonetized his channel and censored him. And there's no apology. He's been proven correct on everything, just like we've been proven correct on everything. Everything we've said about COVID, we were proven correct. It's just like Brett Weinstein. And nobody's apologized, and so it doesn't matter. So what they're just saying, you got to do what Bill Gates says. And if you don't, we're going to fine you, demonetize you, and take your channel down. So there is absolutely no free speech. And the Democrats are all for this 100%. And they're saying that there can be no scientific debate. And there isn't. Go ahead, Kurt.
This is even worse than because this is so loose. I'm like reading this thing. So denial, misinformation. We do not allow content that denies the existence of specific health conditions. Which conditions might those be? Anything like that you need, like Ozempic or some hormones for.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that like
so they can
sex addiction. They take your pick of things. They
can make anything. Yeah. So if
depression, people say isn't real.
So if we say that puberty blockers are not necessary for children, they could say we're denying a health condition, and they could take my channel down.
If you say it's bad to be fat for your health, they can take your.
If we say it's bad to be fat,
it's not. By the way, get as fat as possible. Oh, get boosted. Take hormones. That's the message.
Don't you love when Chris Christie went on David Letterman and he said, what about your blood pressure? Blood pressure normal. What about your cholesterol? Normal. What about your heart rate? Normal. Oh, really? Because you look like a big tub of shit. That's really funny.
Well, it's
So that has nothing to do with anything. It's
yeah.
weird how it would affect every fat cell in your body except the important ones. Isn't that amazing?
It's counterintuitive, sure, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But he is the healthiest man who's ever run for public office.
As usual, the policy will be arbitrarily enforced, as it may not cover all CDC WHO guidance. That's what it says. It may not. So even if you're not going against what the CDC or WHO says, we still might censor you.
Well, remember that WHO was actually better on mask nonsense than our organization?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what that's for. So WHO, like, you don't have to mask your kids, and then you say, hey, the WHO said it's censored.
So no, sorry, the CDC says you have to mask your kids. Yeah, you're right.
It's very China. Everybody's afraid of China. Just so you understand, that's how the rules work in China. They don't just bother you every day. They don't, like, they reserve the right to come mess with you.
Yes.
And they enforce it at a time of their choosing if you run your mouth too much.
And Michael Schellenberger says YouTube's new policy is that it will censor you if you disagree with the World Health Organization. YouTube recognizes that the WHO's guidance might change. But if it does, it won't be because of a debate on YouTube, because they're not allowing debate on YouTube over science. YouTube isn't a social media platform. It's a propaganda platform. Well, all the social media are.
Yeah, but it could be my own propaganda for myself.
Yeah, but they're all propagandas now. They're all, and Elon Musk not doing this great job of free speeching X, as he said he was, and we'll do a segment on that. But he was better on his own pet issue, which was COVID, because he got vaccine injured. So Elon Musk wanted the truth to be told about that. He doesn't give a shit, I don't think, about the truth about anything else.
Freedom of speech, as I mean freedom of reach.
Hey, come see us live on tour. We'll be in Salt Lake City, New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, Toledo, Detroit, St. Louis, Tampa, Boca Raton, and Orlando. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you there.